Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another vlog. I have been working on a project where I'm painting all my Ikea furniture this week, so I have been to Home Depot like a million times, so I have that for you in this one. I didn't really do any hiking this week. Just went for like a walk around the lake up in Coquitlam and basically just been painting the furniture and sanding it. It took forever, but I did buy my first power tool, which was super exciting. Yeah, so last week I didn't really vlog much of anything. I didn't have a video for you last week. I just kind of like hung out and read books. Yeah, so here is some footage of me doing my furniture and I'll explain what's going on in that, and then I have another book to So basically what I'm doing here is just sanding everything down. You need to sand down all of the surfaces so you have something for the primer to stick to. I read like a bunch of different blogs. Some of them said that you didn't need to sand it before priming, but I kind of wanted to make sure that this would be as stable as possible. I've never actually really done anything like this before, so we're going to kind of see how it goes. I'm hopeful that it's going to turn out well. But yeah, I just sanded down every piece like super carefully. I did end up going back to Home Depot partway through and buying a power sander because the holding it with my hand thing ended up getting like super annoying. So the rest of it I ended up sanding with a power tool, but I didn't film any of that because it all ended up just getting a bit hectic. So, all right, so I've finished priming these two pieces. I think I'm just gonna leave it at one layer of primer, and then I could probably paint later today. I might paint tomorrow depending on how I'm feeling. This took like 2 or 3 hours. But I'm gonna do it in the, you can see the sample paint on top in that color. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, ultimately, like if it doesn't look very good, I'm just gonna pretend that it's like shabby chic boho and it was an aesthetic choice. So that's my plan if it looks like shit. So I finished painting 2 of them, and I don't like it. So we're gonna go back to Home Depot again. So I'm currently repainting everything. I ended up having to like sand it all down and prime it and paint it again because I ended up like hating the original color. I didn't film any of like the resanding, repainting because I was super annoyed, but it is now getting its second coat of a color that I like a lot more. So when it is all done, I will show you guys all of that. All right, so this shelf is the original color that I had picked. I left it at this one because I couldn't bring myself to sand all of them down again, but this one is done and that's what this color looks like. My living room is still slight chaos, but I've got these 2 shelves done. I'm waiting to put books on them just because I'm a little bit concerned about the shelves being slightly sticky still, but I like this color a lot. I think they're looking really good, and then once everything's put back together, I think it's gonna look nice. And then I've got my TV stand, the cubes, painted in this color. It's kind of hard to see on the video, but they are all actually slightly different tones, and I think it's gonna look really good. So this just got its last coat this morning. I'm gonna give this a few days, probably until the end of next week when I'm back, to actually put anything back on it, just because the TV is so heavy and I really want it to be fully dry before I attempt to put anything on it. I actually attempted to like curl my hair today because I got super bored. This ended up not being great, but this turned out okay, so I think I just need to practice. It was like the first time I'd ever tried to do it, so you're welcome. Yeah, so the book I want to talk about this week is A Good War. I've decided that I'm going to try and do this every vlog, but keep it to like 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and not like the 8-minute rant that I had last time, although that book was really good and you guys definitely should read it. But this is called A Good War by Seth Klein. You may have heard of his sister, Naomi Klein. She's done a ton of work. There's a really good book called This Changes Everything that she did. But this one's really interesting. He compares the need to sort of re-examine our economy to retool like the industries that we're funding and to sort of mobilize society towards action on climate change. And he draws the parallels between what happened in the Second World War and what we should be doing now. So in terms of regulating industry, of stopping sales of things that are harmful. So during World War II, private vehicle ownership was outlawed. They made tanks, they made planes. And so he talks about how we should be doing that with green energy, with renewable energy, and that is really interesting. What I enjoyed a lot about this is, one, his personal family history is that his family are pacifists. So his parents came up from the US escaping the Vietnam draft. And it was interesting to read his struggle with advocating for a wartime mentality as a pacifist. So I thought that was super interesting. And the other thing that I really enjoyed that I think is super important and not enough people are talking about is he drew a lot of parallels between the fact that if we have social equality and social justice, then climate justice will naturally follow. If we fight for climate justice, and he lays out several steps in the way to do that, then social justice will naturally follow. These two things are intertwined. We cannot have environmental justice without social justice, and there is no social justice without environmental justice. To move from an extraction economy to an economy and a society where we nurture the planet, where we understand that we're stewards of what we live on, and the fact that humanity exists on this planet because we can breathe the atmosphere in 6 inches of topsoil, and not enough people seem to appreciate that. But that is a rant for another day. And he has a whole entire chapter on Indigenous leadership, which I think is amazing. So definitely check out this book. I got mine from the public library. It came out this year. I'm sure you can find it at a ton of places. Burnaby Public Library had like 8 copies of it, so go check it out. Alright guys, so that is all that I have for you this week. This is kind of a short one. I didn't really do a lot other than paint the furniture and get headaches from the paint fumes, and I've also been watching The Vampire Diaries again because it soothes my soul. And it's been hot, and I haven't really wanted to go outside that much. So I will catch you in the next one. I'm traveling next week. I'm going to be at the island. It's going to be my birthday, and then I come back on like Thursday from that. So I'm gonna try and get a vlog of that up, and then I leave again on Sunday morning at like 1:25 to go and see my dad for the first time in like 2.5 years. So I get to go on an airplane, which was terrifying, but also to see my family and my sisters and hang out with them. So that's nice. Now that I'm fully vaccinated, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about going and doing that kind of stuff. My family's fully vaccinated. Except for my sister who's too young, but I think it's gonna be a good time. So I will also have a vlog of some Newfoundland travels for you guys, and probably more hiking, because that is what we like to be doing. Anyways, thanks for checking it out. Let me know if there's anything you would like to hear me rant about in future videos.